Next on Energy Switch, we'll look at plastics recycling and its energy and climate footprint.
We should start with the fact that we can improve recycling across the board in this country.
Yes.
And there's no hiding the fact that plastics are currently performing the worst. They're the least recycled material.
We have over 9,000 different recycling programs in the United States.
Yeah.
And we've also only got, about 60% of Americans have access to curbside recycling. We have a lot of opportunity, but a lot of challenges, I think, that go along with plastics.
Coming up on Energy Switch, the challenges and opportunities in recycling plastic. I'm Scott Tinker, and I'm an energy scientist. I work in the field, lead research, speak around the world, write articles, and make films about energy. This show brings together leading experts on vital topics in energy and climate. They may have different perspectives, but my goal is to learn and illuminate and bring diverging views together towards solutions. Welcome to the Energy Switch. We use plastic for almost everything: clothing, car parts, medical devices, electronics, and especially packaging. You may be touching it right now. Plastic is everywhere, meaning it's increasingly in our oceans, our water, our food, even our bodies. That's because, as with everything, the many benefits of plastics come with challenges. In this case, disposal and recycling. We'll talk about this and plastics' energy and emissions footprints with two experts. Holly Alexander. She's a Strategic Initiatives Manager for Plastics Recycling at Eastman Corp, on the Board of Directors at the Recycling Partnership, and Chair of the Board at the Plastic Pact. Anya Brandon is the Associate Director for U.S. Plastics Policy at the Ocean Conservancy, formerly a U.S. Congressional Science Fellow with a bachelor's, master's, and Ph.D. from Stanford. On this episode of Energy Switch, the energy and climate footprint of recycling plastic.
Let's just kick right into this topic. Why do we care? Why should our listeners even care about plastic?
There's no hiding the fact that we are in the middle of an absolute plastic pollution crisis. Whales are washing up on the shore with plastics in their belly. Turtles can't really make it through the ocean without getting impacted by plastics. And more than that, we know we are ingesting plastics through microplastics, through the air we're breathing, the water we drink, and the food we eat. I think we've often been caught in this frame of it's an either-or decision. We either need to reduce everything or recycle everything. And much like the climate crisis, it is long past time of this being an either-or option. We absolutely need to do both.
Yeah, so I shouldn't reach down and get my plastic cup and have a drink right now. It just made me never want to do that again. Holly, anything to add to why we should care?
I think the plastics are such an interesting challenge because there are obviously some really significant environmental concerns. We have some absolutely emerging human health concerns. And as we think about these different materials, it's really, really critical to start to try to understand why are we using them in the first place. Sure. We have a lot of opportunities, I think, to make things better, to still get the benefit of these materials.
What are the benefits of plastic to begin with? What do we use it for?
So plastics go into almost everything. About 60% of clothing is made of plastics, carpet in your home, all kinds of piping and things that we use to move water. We have it, of course, for packaging. It's an incredible tool to help to prevent spoilage of food, but also medical devices, going into medical packaging, things that need to be sterile so that we can be safe with those procedures.
I'd like to jump in on this. A lot of those applications that, Holly, you just mentioned are not what's driving this crisis. When we think about really what's driving our plastic pollution crisis or the waste crisis that's impacting recycling, we're talking about single-use plastics. We know that nearly half of the plastics produced each and every year are for packaging.
So my straw.
Your straws, your plastic bag, bottles.
Interesting.
So when we as policy makers or environmental advocates are trying to move the needle and really tackle this crisis, that's really what we're targeting.
How much do we make each year? Just give me a sense of some volume or weight that our listeners could understand.
There's not a lot of transparency or data out there. In terms of production, it often gets lumped in with other petrochemicals, which includes things like fertilizers. And we know the vast majority of petrochemicals go to plastic, but we don't know exactly how much.
That's not required reporting, or
It's not.
It's not.
really?
It's not right now.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
interesting. So
No.
do you have a feeling? I mean, just ballpark something.
Each year we end up with about 350 million tons of
350
plastics that are
million tons.
waste, plastic waste that's being generated.
350 million tons, 700 billion pounds. That's incredible.
And
Yeah, yeah.